Hey guys, how's it going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're taking a look at the standard assault rifle of the British Armed Forces, the L85A2. The L85 is a variant of the SA-80, which was adopted by the British Armed Forces in the mid-80s to replace the semi-automatic 7.62 battle rifle, the L1A1 SLR. Like the FAMAS and the Steyr AUG, which also began to enter service around about the same time, the L85 is a Bullpup designed weapon which fires the 5.56mm NATO cartridge. In Battlefield 4, the L85A2 is probably most similar to the M416 and the ACE-23, but being a Bullpup design unlike these other weapons, the L85 has a few different characteristics. It has a better than average rate of fire of 750 RPM and the standard assault rifle damage model. It deals 25 damage out to 8 meters and then drops off to its minimum damage of 18 at 55 meters. This translates into a minimum of a 4 bullet kill and a maximum of a 6 bullet kill. If you land at least one headshot, it'll take you one less bullet to kill, but on the other hand, if your opponent is running the defensive perk and you don't land a headshot, it'll take one more bullet to kill. As most players run with the defensive perk these days, you can pretty much count on needing 7 bullets to kill at long range, which means that you'll need to engage targets at short ranges to be effective. The L85 is also not the easiest gun to control. It has a balanced horizontal recoil, but unfortunately it has a very high vertical recoil of 0.43. You can learn to control this by pulling down your joystick or mouse, but it takes a little getting used to. The L85 is slightly more accurate than most ARs when firing from the hip, with a standing hip fire spread of 2.25. Although this is a fair bit better than most of the other assault rifles, it's still not as good as any of the carbines or PDWs, so you're not going to be able to run around and hip fire at every target. The ADS characteristics of the L85 and the other Bullpup ARs are slightly different from a standard assault rifle as well, and are probably more similar to a carbine. The L85A2 has a standing ADS spread of 0.25, which is slightly worse than a normal assault rifle, but it has a moving ADS spread of 0.8, which is slightly better. What this means is that while you'll be able to stay mobile, you may not be able to take down targets at range as quickly as you would with an ACE-23 or an M416. Bullpup weapons also reload a lot slower than conventional designed weapons, and to reflect this, the L85A2 actually has the slowest reload in the class. It takes a massive 3.75 seconds to reload the gun when empty, and 2.75 seconds if there's still a bullet in the chamber. This is a pretty big issue in close quarters, but as the weapon is more accurate in these situations, it's probably a fair trade-off. Another favourable characteristic of the L85A2 is that it has one of the fastest muzzle velocities in the class at 640 meters per second. This is not as an important stat as it would be for a DMR or a sniper rifle, but this certainly helps a bit when leading mid to long range targets and will help you to land a few more shots at these ranges. So what attachments work best with the L85A2? Well, the first thing you have to remember about this gun is that it's somewhere in between an assault rifle and a carbine in terms of capabilities, so it's probably not a good idea to try and customise this weapon for a long range loadout. Any of the high powered optics or the magnifier just aren't worth using with this weapon. A one-time sight will be more than enough. A laser sight isn't a bad idea for tighter maps when you expect to use hipfire a bit more, but just be aware that you will give your position away in larger open areas, so if you are prepared to turn it off when you don't need it, maybe consider running with the tack light instead on bigger maps. I tried out a few different barrel attachments and grips for this gun, and I probably would suggest the muzzle brake and the stubby grip. The muzzle brake will tame that upwards kick, and the stubby grip will help counter the accuracy penalty of the muzzle brake. If you wanted to use this weapon at closer ranges, you could maybe run it with the vertical or the ergo grip instead, which would both give the gun a huge boost to its accuracy on the move and its hip fire spread. No matter what loadout you pick for this gun though, just remember this weapon isn't a stop and pop at long range targets kind of gun, so stay away from the angle grip and the heavy barrel. You'd be better off trying to flank longer range targets or just leave them alone altogether. But to wrap this review up, basically this weapon is a good alternative to the M416 and the ACE-23, which I'm sure many players have quite a few service stars for already. It's slightly better for close quarters than the other two options, and in my opinion, it's a better alternative to the carbines if you're looking for mobility with the assault class. But in addition to how the gun actually works, it actually looks and sounds pretty cool too, so all in my opinion, it's probably one of the better assault rifles. Like the M416 and the ACE-23 though, it's not the best close range weapon and it's not the best long range weapon. Its strength lies in its ability to perform well at all ranges, and for this reason alone I think every battlefielder should give it a try. But anyway guys, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. I've got a few more weapon reviews and a few more loadout videos in the works at the moment, so I'll hopefully be releasing those over the next week or so. But in the meantime, if you have any suggestions for loadouts or weapons you'd like me to take a look at, please let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to take a look at all my other Battlefield 4 videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below. But anyway, until next time guys, see you later and have a good one.